Hundreds of rock-cut tombs were constructed in Israel in ancient times. They were cut into the rock, sometimes with elaborate facades and multiple burial chambers. Some are freestanding, but most are caves. Each tomb typically belonged to a single, wealthy family. Bodies were laid out on stone benches. After a generation, the bones were moved to a bone chamber or, later, into ossuaries and the benches used for new burials. Rock tombs were the province of the wealthy. The common people were buried in the ground. The tombs date from several periods. The earliest Canaanite cut rock cave tombs date from 3100 to 900 BCE, but the custom had lapsed a millennium before the earliest Israelite tombs, which date to the 9th century BCE in Jerusalem. There are a great many Jewish tombs dating to the Second Temple period, and others in the late Roman or early Byzantine period. Canaanite period. Early Canaanite High period tombs are the earliest rock-cut tombs yet discovered in Israel. Several have been found beneath the Ophel in Jerusalem. The custom had lapsed by the second millennium. Biblical tombs. A number of rock-cut tombs are mentioned in the Bible. The first was purchased by Abraham for Sarah from Ephron the Hittite. Traditionally, this tomb, which may have been either a rock-cut or a natural cave, is identified with the Cave of the Patriarchs. According to very old traditions, Abraham, Rebekah and Isaac, Jacob and Leah were also buried there. In Acts chapter 7 verse 16, it is said that their bodies were brought back to Shechem and placed in the tomb that Abraham had bought from the sons of Hamor at Shechem for a certain sum of money. Mentions of rock-cut tombs are also found in the Judges chapter 8 verse 32, 2 Samuel chapter 2 verse 32, 2 Kings chapter 9 verse 28, 23:30, 21:26, 23:16, Matthew 27-60. First Temple period. The Silwan necropolis, the most important ancient cemetery of the First Temple period, is assumed to have been used by the highest-ranking officials residing in Jerusalem, the capital city of the Kingdom of Judah. Its tombs were cut between the 9th and 7th centuries BCE. The architecture of the tombs and the manner of burial is different from anything known from contemporary Palestine. Elements such as entrances located high above the surface, gabled as ceilings, straight ceilings with a cornice, trough-shaped resting places with pillows, above-ground tombs, and inscriptions engraved on the facade appear only here. The stone benches on which bodies were laid out and the small square entrance doors are similar to those found elsewhere in Judah. Ussishkin believes that the architectural similarity to building styles of the Phoenician cities validates the biblical description of Phoenician influence on the Israelite kingdoms. There are 3 different types of tombs in the Silwan necropolis, each type concentrated in one specific area. 7 of the tombs feature gabled ceilings and extremely fine stonework. David Ussishkin describes them as among the most beautifully rock-cut tombs known in the Jerusalem area, even when compared with tombs of later periods, in contrast with the extensive family tombs of later periods. These are for single or double burials, with only one of the 7 having room for 3 bodies. Later destruction has effaced the original doorways. A second tomb type described by Ussishkin has flat ceilings and 1, 2 or 3 chambers of well-dressed stone carefully squared into spacious rooms. One features a rear chamber of especially impressive scale and quality. There are tombs combining characteristics of the 2 described here above. The third type consists of just 3 magnificent, monolith tombs, now located in the northern part of the village. These have been carved out of the cliff to create freestanding buildings above the underground burial chambers. Hebrew inscriptions survive on these 3 tombs. These are the only ancient inscriptions that survive in Silwan. Second Temple period. During the Second Temple period, rock-cut tombs were built outside the walls of the city of Jerusalem in every direction. The tombs extend as far as 7 kilometers from the city walls, with the more prestigious tombs located close to the city. Among the notable tombs are the Jason's tomb, a large, elaborate, family tomb with multiple chambers and inscriptions in both Hebrew and Greek. The most elaborate group of tombs, and apparently the most prestigious location, was in the Kidron Valley beneath the tombs of the ancient kings of Judah on the ridge where the village of Silwan now stands. These include the tomb of Beni-Hezekiah, the tomb of Zechariah and the tombs of the kings, which, ironically, is the tomb not of kings, but of a queen, Queen Helena of Adiabene. The elaborate tombs of the Sanhedrin lie to the north of the city. Each of the three tombs would actually have contained the burials of a single, multi-generational, wealthy family. They were constructed between the reign of Herod and the year 70. Tomb of Jesus. According to the Gospels, Jesus was laid out in a rock-cut tomb owned by Joseph of Arimathea. Proposed candidates for the tomb include the rock-cut chamber underneath the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, the Talpiot tomb, and the Garden tomb. Beit She'arim. Beit She'arim National Park in the Galilee preserves a large number of rock-cut Jewish tombs from the 2nd to 4th centuries CE.